Well, welcome, COBEC members. I'm very excited today to have with me the head of the University of West Indies Open Campus in Belize City, Belize, Dr. Sharmayne Saunders. And I wanted to ask her the three questions that I ask a lot of members over time. And I want to start off real quick here, Sharmayne, is how did you get involved with COBEC?
I believe it was in 1997. I was looking for opportunities to pursue higher education. And I met a family in Corozal. I was working there in Corozal back then. And this parent told me about Murray State University that her child was attending. And she further gave me information about two other students who were at Murray from Corozal. And as I went on my investigation, I was told about COBEC and that they were pursuing their education based on a COBEC tuition waiver. Of course, they called it a COBEC scholarship. So in 1998, I received a COBEC tuition waiver, and I began my degree at Murray State University. So I'd say that's my first encounter, 1997, when I was investigating opportunities to further my education.
That was great. COBEC has been around for a while, and
yes,
and just a great story right there. So can you tell me what is your most valued moment in COBEC?
There are many, but I would hone in on one particular event. And it was I don't remember the institution, but I remember the Minister of Education at the time, Patrick Faber, was at that session. I almost think it was Valdosta. And the entire COBEC administrator professional development training was focused on how to build your institution through philanthropy. And for me, that was very important because it's a missing element in our country where we have not been able to secure alumni relations. I don't think any of our institutions in the COBEC body for Belize has a successful story to share about how we keep our alum engaged, and for me, that session was very instrumental, and it gave me a lot of ideas for my institution, and it's something I want to see in the future for all the other institutions that we work on, because I think it's very important. I've seen the legacy and the commitment, even down to, it really inspired me when people leave their wills or leave their intellectual property, the earnings from that for their institution. It really speaks how highly, you think of your institution. So that for me left a lasting impression.
Yeah, really good point. Really good point. Well, you talked a little bit about some of the things you'd like to look at in the future, but I'm going to ask the more open question here is, what initiatives do you think it is important for COBEC to pursue in the future?
I have three things, and they're in no specific rank order. And the first one is definitely the relationship in terms of granting access to higher education to Belizeans. I am a product of that type of COBEC relationship, and I will sing that praise wherever I go. That's the first one. So thinking about students, and I know the corporation dealt with that. The second one for me would be the exchange. And I think we do it at a certain level, but I think we can enhance and improve it where we actually, as administrators or as teachers, we get to go to a US counterpart university and we spend some time learning, gleaning from what they have done, and trying to come back home and integrate that into our best practices. I think it's very important that is established. And then the third thing would be research. And I am not only saying this because UT Tyler and University of West Indies and Stanford Clinical has looked at research, but I think research for my country, our country Belize, is very important. A lot of information is out there, and we are now required to use information to make decisions. So we need to do more research, or even if we've been doing the research, we have to strategically align ourselves so that the information can be published and shared. So information is power. I know it's a cliche term, but I truly believe that if we are supposed to play our role in nation building, part of that is also to ensure that we do research, we do publication, and we disseminate information on the work that we're doing. So those are my three.
Well, it sounds good. I think those are three important areas for sure. And Dr. Saunders, I want to tell you is that from a personal end, I value our friendship tremendously. Every time I have an opportunity to speak with you is that I always learn something new, and just your passion for what you do kind of makes me more excited about what I do as well. So thank you very much, and look forward to further partnerships with our institutions and with COBEC at large.